Across Africa, a heavy silence has fallen, a silence that comes only when a great tree has fallen in the forest of history. Apostle Dr. Kwadwo Safo Kantanka, the man who built machines with his hands and inspired millions with his vision, has passed away. His death has left Ghana, and indeed the whole of Africa, in mourning. News outlets broke the story with trembling voices. Social media flooded with videos, images, and messages celebrating the genius of a man who dared to prove that Africa was not a continent of limitations, but a continent of possibilities. Among the first leaders to react was Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. His condolence message did not sound like the usual cold diplomatic statement. It was fiery, emotional, and deeply personal. For Traoré, Kantanka was not just Ghana's pride, he was Africa's prophet of technology, a man who saw tomorrow before anyone else did. Traoré spoke of Kantanka's unshakable belief in African self-reliance. He reminded the world that this was the man who refused to bow to Western standards of invention, who created cars when everyone said it was impossible, who built robots when even the thought of African robotics seemed laughable to the doubters. But what made the condolence even more striking was the revelation that Kantanka had once gifted Traoré a custom-built V8 car. It wasn't just a car, it was a statement, a symbol of African ingenuity and resistance. Traoré described it as a vehicle infused with a spirit of freedom, with an engine that roared like the heartbeat of the African continent. He said, "Each time I sat in that V8, I felt the presence of Kantanka." It wasn't just a machine, it was a reminder that we Africans can build, we can innovate, and we can rise without waiting for permission. The message touched on Kantanka's lifestyle as well. He was not a man chasing fame or wealth. He lived with humility, discipline, and spiritual balance. He built a life where science and faith coexisted. Through his Crystal Asafo Church, he blended invention with inspiration. His Sunday services were not just worship, but exhibitions of what the African mind could achieve when guided by both God and determination. Traoré painted the picture of a man who was misunderstood by many during his early years, laughed at, mocked, dismissed as a dreamer. But today, those same voices had fallen silent, replaced by the deafening applause of an entire continent. He urged Africa's youth to look at Kantanka's journey and see themselves, to believe that no dream was too big, no invention too ambitious, to never wait for validation from Europe or America, but to create boldly and unapologetically. And Traoré's message did not stop there. He reminded leaders across Africa that Kantanka's death must not become another chapter quickly forgotten. Instead, it must be a turning point. He challenged presidents, ministers, and governments to invest in local talent, to build factories, to support engineers, to empower their scientists. He declared, "Kantanka has done his part. The torch is now in our hands. If we drop it, then we have betrayed him. But if we carry it, if we push forward, then one day, Africa will stand not as a consumer of the world's products, but as a producer, as an innovator, as a master of its own destiny." The words sent shockwaves across the continent. Ghana's youth reposted the message with pride. Burkina Faso citizens flooded social media with messages of solidarity. From Nigeria to South Africa, voices rose in unison, honoring Kantanka as a son of Africa, not just Ghana. Traoré also revealed one of his personal moments with Kantanka. He recalled visiting his workshop where Kantanka walked him through his inventions. From armored vehicles to aircraft prototypes, from military gadgets to agricultural machines, Kantanka showed him that everything Africa needs could be built by African hands. In that moment, Traoré said, he realized something powerful. If Africa fails, it will not be because we lacked genius. It will be because we failed to believe in our own geniuses. The condolence carried an emotional climax. Traoré said, Kantanka's passing must not make Africa weaker. Instead, it must make Africa stronger. It must ignite a fire in every young boy in Accra sketching machines in his notebook, in every young girl in Ouagadougou dreaming of designing engines, in every African child who has ever been told their dreams are too big. He concluded with a vow: Burkina Faso will never let Kantanka's vision die. We will honor him by building, by inventing, by partnering with Ghana to push Africa's science forward. We will make sure his name is written not just in history books, but in the hearts of generations to come. The speech ended, but its echo remained. Across radios, televisions, and online platforms, Ibrahim Traoré's condolence was replayed again and again, not just as a farewell, but as a blueprint for Africa's rebirth. This story unfolds not as mere news of a death, but as a tale of legacy, unity, and hope. The death of Kantanka has shaken Africa, but in the mourning rises a powerful truth: legends never truly die. Kantanka lives on, in his machines, in his vision, and now in the voices of leaders like Ibrahim Traoré, who refuse to let his dream fade.